So, this week's lore is a favorite, is the best, one might say. The best of boys. And I think it was appropriate with last week's news. We talked about the passing of River the dog. That we talk about this week, Dogmeat. Now, I am not sure if
let's talk dog.
I'm not sure. We've talked about Dogmeat a lot on this program before. But there's a lot of different iterations of Dogmeat. Like a lot. Mm-hmm. So I thought, why not talk about all of them? Now, I'm also going to start doing this new thing. Today's lore was picked out by Discord member and Patreon member, Noah. I'm going to start doing this thing. Some Tuesdays or Wednesdays, you got to be in the Discord. I'm going to ask a question. This week's question was, what number am I thinking between 1 and 10? Noah guessed he was the first person to guess the right number. I told him to DM me. He picked this week's lore. I don't know what next week's question is going to be, but it's not always going to be what number am I thinking of, not am I thinking of this or that. It's going to be something else. So if there's something that you really desperately want to hear as a piece of lore, make sure you're in the Discord. Make sure that you are waiting for it and you're ready to go when I ask the question. Other than that, I want to jump right into Dogmeat. So I get all of my lore off of fallout.fandom.com. And like I said, there's various different versions of Dogmeat. So let's start with Fallout 1. He can be found in 2161 terrorizing Phil in Junktown. Dogmeat's original owner, what?
Good. Terrorize that bitch.
Dogmeat's original owner was killed by some thugs, most likely hired by Gizmo. These thugs, this gang, would have been the Skulls. Within the Vault Dweller's memoir, it states that during the invasion of Mariposa military base, quote, invading the Vats, I came across more mutants and robots. None could stand in my way. I had my mission. I had my goal. I had a really large gun. It was there that Dogmeat fell, a victim of a powerful energy force field. I miss that dog. End quote.
Damn. That's so fucking sad.
So the way you can get Dogmeat to become your companion in Fallout 1 is when you see him terrorizing Phil, you can either give him an iguana on a stick that you can get at the hub, or if you're wearing a leather jacket looking like the Road Warrior, like Mad Max, his owner used to wear that before him, and he'll think you're him, and he'll tag along with you.
Oh, that's so cool. That's cool that there's like multiple ways.
It's just two quick little ways, but it's still neat. This is something really neat that I didn't know about, because I haven't played a lot of Fallout 2, but in Fallout 2, Dogmeat is technically in Fallout 2, but he technically is not canon. He can be found in the special encounter, the Cafe of Broken Dreams. It's a small diner in the middle of the wasteland. All versions of the Vault Dweller can be seen inside, especially characters that cannot be played. So there's like a black version of the Vault Dweller that you can't play as, and a woman with red hair, if I remember correctly, stated on the wiki. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so while you're in there, you can also see Tandy and Set and Dogmeat. Tandy being Tandy, Set being the ghoul, and Dogmeat being the dog. But this entire cafe that you're in is an exact copy and paste of the Maltese Falcon from Fallout 1.
Yeah, I'm looking at a screenshot. I went and looked up Cafe of Broken Dreams. This is really cool.
Yeah.
We should it's not a very big one, but like we should talk about this. It's really cool.
Literally everything I just said is pretty much the like mini quest encounter thing.
This is so cool.
Yeah, it's really neat. It just is what it is. Like, it's not anything crazy. It's just neat. And I don't know how, like, this triggers exactly. But it's neat. So that's why Dogmeat technically isn't canon in Fallout 2.
But you can get him as a companion.
Yes, and if you strip down to just your vault jumpsuit, Dogmeat will think that you're his old owner and tag along. So I like that like callback of you dressing up as the previous owner of the Dogmeat.
That's so cool.
So let me read these quick little notes off the wiki quick. Regardless of your, I was going to say gender, regardless of your karma, you can get Dogmeat. If Katya and Dogmeat are both following the Vault Dweller, Katya will repeatedly say, I hate dogs. So for behind the scenes, it says Dogmeat is a reference to Mad Max 2 or The Road Warrior, and my favorite, A Boy and His Dog. That's a fantastic film. We have a review of it. If you want, go check that out.
We should review Mad Max.
We should actually record a couple burners soon. I've been meaning to talk to you about this because I want to do one on The Thing in the worst way.
I do too, because Keith David.
Yes, and it'll give me an excuse to buy some Apocalypse Blu-rays. So
some DVDs.
And since I have a Series X now, I can watch a Blu-ray in 4K with like 60 frames.
Oh, I forgot. You never mentioned that you got a Series X on the show.
Yeah, I did. I did it last week.
Did you?
Yeah. I started.
I thought you mentioned that you bought it. But...
No, dude. Dude. When we were recording that episode, I was a few minutes late because I was setting it up.
How do I not remember that?
Yeah, it's all good. Don't worry. Phil confirms the point above when he describes Dogmeat's former owner in the original Fallout. Oh, the guy was tall, dark, with a little graying around the edges. He was dressed in black leather. Like, that's a good idea in the desert, and carried a shotgun. This description matches Mad Max.
Mm-hmm.
So to go more into A Boy and His Dog referencing for the name is the namesake of Dogmeat is Vic, Vic's canine companion Blood, also called Dogmeat by Vic. In the movie A Boy and His Dog, starring Don Johnson and based off the novel by famed sci-fi author Harlan Ellison, this movie dealt with post-nuclear war survival with Dogmeat apparently conversing with Vic as they both scour the wasteland for both food and women. I am still trying to get my hands on this book.
Oh, the book version of A Boy and His Dog?
Like what it's based off of. I don't need like an original.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I remember correctly, A Boy and His Dog is like a series of short stories. But like I don't need like the original pressing. It doesn't have to be all pulpy. I just need. You
just want it.
I want to read it, yeah. And I won't go to Barnes & Noble. Fuck Barnes & Noble. I'm not going to I'm not going to a big book retailer. I want to go to a private, like, mom and pop shop. So after Fallout 2, we have Fallout 3. And a fierce and skilled scavenger. His original owner is a merchant that is programmed to be able to trade. He has an amount of caps on him, and he can be mez to become a slave.
Wait, who can?
Dogmeat's original owner is technically in the game as like someone you can speak to and trade with.
Really?
Yeah. So
is that something you could find, or is that like in content?
It's no. It's something in the game. It's whenever you get into like the threshold of where Dogmeat and the raiders and the junkyard spawn. Right? Yeah, whenever you get into that threshold, his owner dies instantly. But there's a way that you can get him to stick around. Mm-hmm. And like there's a picture of like Dogmeat's owner on the wiki. Like he has his own wiki entry. And it's just a merchant with his head spewed open.
Good.
Yeah.
Come.
Yeah.
Take the new bridge.
I just thought that was interesting. The Lone Wanderer can say about Dogmeat says, "Good teeth, strong paws. You're a fighting dog, aren't you?" Michael Vick loves this dog. It's your fun fact of the day. All right, here's some notes. If enemies are nearby, what's up?
I said, "Yeah, give them to me."
If enemies are nearby, Dogmeat will growl. Since he is programmed to be a higher priority target than the Lone Wanderer, Dogmeat will draw more of the attacker's attention. When
I love that Dogmeat draws aggro. It really helps in Fallout 3.
Yeah. When instructed to find something, Dogmeat is capable of bypassing lock containers and doors, allowing access to items and containers beyond your ability to pick. Much like how if you have Nick Valentine, you can just pick lock and...
Yeah.
Dogmeat can sometimes go missing for long periods of time when asked to find something, sometimes even days. He may be found around the area of Vault 101 in this scenario. At level 22, with the Broken Steel add-on, the Puppies perk can be taken, so when Dogmeat dies, you can get another one. The Puppies perk has a second unintended use that makes it possible to recruit multiple followers. And I love how there is a see Fallout 3 exploits for more.
There's a whole section on Fallout 3 exploits.
Yep. Maybe we should do a lore segment on exploits.
On everything broken about Fallout 3, this page is massive. Vince, did you click on it?
No.
It is massive.
All right, hold on. Let me see. Oh my God! Look at the little scrolly scroll.
Yeah, and look at the table of contents. There's 9 headers, and like all of them have like 10 subheadings.
I'm just gonna read the first few. Exploits no longer available after patch 1.1. Items related to exploits. That's 2. 2.1 free Nuka-Cola. 2.2 weapons and ammo. 2.2.1 duplicate mines and thrown unlimited grenades. 2.2.2 duplicate Sydney's Ultra SMG and 10mm ammunition. 2.2.3 other weapons. It goes all the way to 2.2.7 and then it goes to 2.3.
This is like the Homestuck chapters. It's all f***ed up.
9.9.5. Holy shit. 9, 9.1, 9.2, 9.3, 9.4, 9.4.1, 4.2. Jesus
Some of them have really
Christ.
wild names too.
Okay, we have to get back to lore.
Hold on, wait. 6.1.1 infinite fingers and ears. Like there's just some wild names here.
Yeah. That's wild. If Dogmeat is not present in the scrapyard, he can be found a few hours later by waiting. I'm not seeing it here exactly, but there is a way that Dogmeat shows up fighting super mutants, and you can just take him in.
I think I've seen that before.
I don't remember.
Like personally.
He has a right eye that's brown and a left eye that is blue, and that is known as complete heteochromia, what David Bowie had. Here's some cut content stuff. Before the release of Fallout 3, the process of how to recruit Dogmeat had only been shown in a small clip as the Lone Wanderer holds something out to the wounded dog, although the item was never revealed. Dogmeat was initially to be found in a random encounter, appearing early on to help develop the Lone Wanderer's bond with the dog. Some more cut content. Dogmeat is modeled after the dog in Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior, again. The main character, Max, is played by Mel Gibson, and he had a dog that wandered with him, with Dogmeat being the same breed, an Australian cattle dog. Maybe that's the dog I'll buy.
Yeah.
I'm like...
Get your own little Dogmeat?
Yeah. Because I was like thinking about maybe I should get a dog. I don't really like dogs, but like if I could get a good one, I'd kind of be into it. And I don't know if I name him Dogmeat or Blood.
Come here, Blood.
Yeah. The namesake... This just goes into the namesake of Dogmeat coming from a boy and his dog. He actually calls Blood Dogmeat as like a derogatory term.
Come on, Dogmeat.
I forget exactly how he uses it, but he's like, he's like, shut up, idiot. Like, that's how he says it to him.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much everything on Dogmeat from Fallout 3. Are you recording?
I am recording.
Gang shit. All right. So, Fallout 4. Before we get into it, you want to do another little moment of silence for
River?
For River?
Yeah.
Amen. All right, let's get into River. So there's something in here that I have a problem with, and I'll tell you in just a moment. Fallout 4, a German Shepherd in the Commonwealth. Well, like Dogmeat is a German Shepherd in the Commonwealth in 2287. He can track a man's scent for miles. Mama Murphy can also say that Dogmeat is his own man when speaking to her in the Museum of Freedom, which kind of makes me go into the whole Dogmeat is a synth thing.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily even think that Dogmeat is remember in the beginning of, I've said this before, but the beginning of Fallout 4 when you can like click on everything in the house, when the sole survivor says, we're never going to find that dog. Like, I think that the sole survivor is a synth, but also that like they implanted this memory of a dog just to kind of show the dog to the sole survivor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So
it has to be intentional.
Because, like, you need him... So here's another thing. You need him to complete the quest to find Kellogg. On top of that, Mama Murphy will refer to him as Dogmeat right then and there, right? I never did this, my first playthrough. My first playthrough,
Really?
he was just Dog. Until you have to go to Kellogg's house. And Nick goes, I bet Dogmeat could help us. And just like that...
Dogmeat who?
Exactly. I was like, what do you mean Dogmeat? Like, I knew it was Dogmeat, but it just said dog. So I thought, we're all going to refer to this, to River, this dog, as Dogmeat, but I didn't think it was... like Dogmeat. Like, I just thought it was like, it's like not an Easter egg, but like an Easter egg. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a very in-your-face Easter egg. And then Nick just goes, we can use Dogmeat. And I was like, and then his name just changed.
It's like, I didn't know that we were doing another thing for the Fallout 3 audience.
So, there's not really much here other than, I thought I wrote that down. I did. While the sole survivor was in cryosleep, Dogmeat helps Preston Garvey and the other settlers on their pilgrimage to Concord. Now, I don't know where this ever comes up in
I think
game.
it comes up when you're talking with Preston about, I think it's when you ask about Quincy.
Maybe. I don't remember it ever happening. But also, peculiarly enough. Can you say that so I don't sound like an idiot?
Peculiarly.
Thank you. Also, Dogmeat has helped Nick Valentine on a number of cases.
So he's just a MacGuffin.
Yeah, like I never use Preston all that much, but I use Nick a lot. And Nick never once brought up, when I was playing with him, having Dogmeat there.
Yeah, I don't remember that either.
So...
I mean, I always traveled with Kate, so...
I don't know. Dogmeat, I'm a big fan of just running around with a dog.
I do appreciate that, too.
Yeah. It's something so simple, and I like that. Like with every companion character, the sole survivor can command Dogmeat to do certain tasks, such as commanding him to go to a certain location of the survivors, choosing or fetching specific items for the player character. I'm not going to go through it very much, but there is a list here of all the stuff that you can put on Dogmeat.
Yeah, it's cool, and it shows you like how to get them.
Yeah.
A lot more bandanas than I remembered.
I don't remember a leopard print one. Yeah. There is a lot. Damn.
Jangles bandana.
After the first encounter, so this is what I'm talking about. After the first encounter, Dogmeat will just be named Dog. Later during the quest, when Freedom calls, Mama Murphy mentions to the sole survivor that Dogmeat is his real name. She can also mention that Dogmeat is his own man, but she has seen that he will follow the survivor. If Dogmeat is not present during this quest, the conversation will not take place. That's also kind of bullshit, because recently I started playing Fallout 4 with a friend. I've told the story before, with a friend who had never played it before, and he was just called Dogmeat.
Like upon finding?
Like, I found him and he was Dogmeat.
Yeah, that's weird.
Maybe I had him with me. Maybe I lied. Maybe I had him with me, because this is that first quest.
Yeah.
Where you find them. I don't remember. I hate this. During the quest, getting a clue. If Dogmeat was never met previously, Nick Valentine will call Dogmeat with a whistle. So you're in Diamond City, and that whistle reaches all the way to the Red Rocket gas station.
So he just summons Dogmeat?
Yeah, like a familiar. He's like...
That's so fucking weird.
Yep.
Why would they make him a part of the story?
Nick Valentine will also say beforehand that he knows a guy that can help and remark, I've worked with him quite a few times while talking about Dogmeat. Sure, dude. Fucking fine.
I guess.
Yeah. He's the only companion whose perk must be unlocked on the perk chart. I'm kind of okay with that.
Yeah, me too.
Because, like, if you're playing by yourself, like, you want that.
Mm-hmm. And, like, all the other companion perks are, like, having story breakthroughs with them on their little story quests.
Yeah, like, Piper's is, like, get through hers every time. Instead of 25 XP, it doubles it, so you get 50. Like, it's...
Yeah.
Going back to his perk, while Dogmeat is technically a companion, the benefits of the Lone Wanderer still apply to the sole survivor if he adventures with Dogmeat. So shit like that I like, because that's how I like to play a lot.
Because you don't want to hear anyone else's fucking opinion.
Me?
Yeah, I mean, you always just kind of travel with the dog or the robot because you don't want to hear anyone else's bitching.
Not entirely. I just like the idea of being alone in a wasteland. Mm-hmm. Like, I've said this before, but that's why my favorite companions were Dogmeat and Fox in 3.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was just, here's this outcast who wasn't welcome at his own birthday party, wasn't welcome in the vault, like his dad left and you had to leave, and then you're just alone, and then you meet Dogmeat and he's left alone because, much like you, how your mother died, Dogmeat's owner died, and now you're just like, hey, we're just these two kind of loners, and then you meet Fox and he's like, my people don't like me. That was a shitty
same
voice.
bro.
Yeah, it's like, oh, dude, really? Like fucking thematics? Like you and me? And it's just
like good writing.
Like decent writing. Like you know what I mean? Like just, I don't know. That made the most sense to me in those games. Mm-hmm. During Arthur Maxon's first speech, Dogmeat will walk to the center of the room and will be unable to interact for the duration. Once Maxon finishes with his ad victoriam salute, Dogmeat will perform his bunny trick. That's cool. He also appears in Fallout Shelter. I didn't write anything about Fallout Shelter just because he's a legendary pet.
Yeah, it's just a legendary pet.
Yeah. Dogmeat has the highest stealth compared to other companions.
Really? I didn't expect that.
And he's the only German Shepherd to show up. Oh, behind the scenes, Dogmeat is modeled after River, a female German Shepherd, and the pet of Joel and Michelle Burgess. After this just got updated. After River passed away in June of 2021, Joel Burgess wrote a Twitter thread talking about River's role in development. Dogmeat was designed as a companion first and a combat ally second, which is why Bethesda chose a more personable dog rather than a professionally trained one. Much of Dogmeat's in-game behavior was inspired by River, who would attend meetings and hang out with the team during development.
Oh.
I wonder if they gave River a writing credit.
Oh, they better.
In The Professional, the movie The Professional, what's Padme? Who is the woman who plays Padme in Star Wars?
Shit. That wasn't Natalie Portman, was it?
Yes, Natalie Portman's parents and I want to say the book of The Professional, the little girl smokes the whole time, but in the movie they were like, we don't really want her smoking or portraying a child smoking, so they made it where she would only smoke like X amount of cigarettes, and by the end of the movie she stopped smoking, and because of that they gave Natalie Portman's parents a writing credit.
Huh. Nice.
In addition to providing modeling references and audio, Dogmeat's brown eyes are replications of River's own eyes. His walking behavior and emphasis on stalling enemies rather than direct damage were all inspired by River.
Oh.
Huh. You want to read the next part?
Yeah. Dogmeat's item fetching and seeking functionality was inspired by River's tendency to retrieve large objects as a show of affection.
Oh, wow. I wonder if that's why if you're so sometimes cute. Idle, he'll kind of throw the teddy bear around. Wow.
That's so cute. Oh.
And would you believe it? I actually have one more piece of lore before we get out of here.
Oh, really? What is that?
Yep. Fallout 2D20. How much you know about Fallout 2D20?
Oh, that was the, like, GURP system, right?
This is the tabletop game.
The one that I didn't make.
Yes, this is the other tabletop game called Fallout 2D20. There's like one that's just called like Fallout Tabletop, but like this has its own entry on the wiki called Fallout. It says Fallout 2D20, but then the picture of it says Fallout the role-playing game.
Right, yeah.
So, if you have a charisma of 5, a perk that gives you access to a dog companion or familiar. If the dog dies, your player character may either find another dog or trade the perk out for something else. Just, it was neat that I didn't know existed.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I thought someone would find that interesting. You know.
Yeah.
That's everything I have on lore. Is there anything you'd like to say?
I think that's all that I got. Other than that, there is also another thing. In all the games, there is a thing called dog space meat. That it is meat of dog that you can eat.
Yes. How do you feel about that?
I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do, man. I personally wouldn't eat dog, but like...
If I was in a country where like it was done... And it was like a normal thing?
Like it was prepared by a gourmand.
Yeah. I think that's lore.
I think that's lore.
Good shit.